إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله ثم أما بعد الناس هلك إلا العالمون والعالمون هلك إلا العاملون والعاملون هلك إلا المخلصون نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى الإخلاص. People are at risk except the knowledgeable ones, and the knowledgeable ones are at risk except those who act upon the knowledge, and those who act upon the knowledge at risk except those who are sincere. قيل ما ارتفع شيء إلى السماء أعظم من الإخلاص. It was said that nothing ascends to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala greater than sincerity. وما نزل شيء من السماء أعظم من التوفيق. And nothing descends from the sky upon us from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala greater than tawfiq, to give you the tawfiq to do the good. وبقدر الإخلاص يكون التوفيق. And depending on your sincerity, you receive or you don't receive the tawfiq. الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا. In Surah Al-Mulk, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, the one who created life and death to test you, أيكم أحسن عملا. أحسن عملا, which one of you have the good deed, which means أخلصه وأصوبه, the most sincere and the one according to the sunnah. إذن هناك شرطان لقبول العمل: الإخلاص والمتابعة للنبي صلى الله عليه وسلم، وهو معنى لا إله إلا الله الإخلاص، محمد رسول الله المتابعة للسنة. So you have two conditions for any actions to be accepted. It has to be sincere, meaning you only want the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second one, following the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And that's exactly the meaning of shahadatan. La ilaha illallah. No one deserves my worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means I only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which means I only want the reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Muhammadun Rasulullah, and Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is the one that I follow. Is the one I follow his sunnah, and that is the meaning of following the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So if we look at these two conditions, following the sunnah, or which basically the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is relatively easy for the one who wants to follow the religion. We're not talking about someone following the desires and want to understand and make sense out of everything, whether he has knowledge or not. We're talking about someone really working for the Jannah and wants to do good. Following the Sunnah is easy. Comparing to sincerity. Sincerity is the scary one. Sincerity is the one, if I know, for instance, lowering my gaze is the Sunnah. When I lower my gaze, I know I accomplished it. I know I did it. I know I succeeded. But when, for instance, I'm giving you the lecture now, and it has to be for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, can I say I guarantee the reward for it? Never. Never. You don't know when you're sincere. In fact, the scholar said, if you want to know you're sincere, you have to doubt your sincerity. Because it doesn't matter how sincere you are, I can start sincere and give it a minute or two, it changes. And I can start with no sincerity, a minute or two, it changes. So to be sincere, straightforward, is unknown. That's why one of the scholars said, I wish that there is someone who teaches people how to be sincere and nothing more. ليس إلا يعلم الناس الإخلاص. لو أن هناك رجلا أو عالما ليس إلا يعني يعلم الناس الإخلاص ليس إلا فقط الإخلاص. Just teaching people how to be sincere. Every day you have a lecture about sincerity. And every day you need to attend it. Because that is so important and unknown to us. Yani if we look at our actions, wallahi, if we think about what we do, just between you and yourself, you would realize that hardly any of our work is accepted, or sincere, or pure sincere. Yani, I'll give you an example. Just when you say, Alhamdulillah, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I did such and such, and you put it on Facebook or YouTube or somewhere. What's your point? What are you trying to do? I know you will have answers, and I know there are avenues for goodness, but is it really that's why you did it? I'm taking the video of myself now. I don't want you to think wild and go everywhere. I'm taking the video of myself right now, and I'm doing this da'wah. Is it really sincere? Am I really sincere with it? Okay, I really want to benefit people, but am I really sincere in it? I honestly don't know. I'm starting with it, and I'm doing it, and I'm trying, and I'm working, and I have a million things to justify why I'm doing it. But deep inside, I don't feel the sincerity part too much in it. Once you do that, you go, if you, just like normal anyone, you want to post something, you see someone praising you. How do you feel? Let me put it to you in an easier way, or worse way. No one praises you. No one says anything. No thank you, no good, no wow. Hardly anybody even watched it. How do you feel inside? If your feeling did not change, you're sincere. If your feeling changed, you're not doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And me, myself, when I think of a Nabi, a prophet, يأتي النبي ومعه الرهط ويأتي النبي وليس معه أحد. The prophet comes, he has few people, 3 to 10 people, believed in him, all of his message. And some prophets come and they have nothing. So what does that mean? It means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't look at the number of the people that follow you, or like you, or listen to you. He looks at what you're doing and how sincere you're doing it. That is the importance of sincerity, and that's how we should always think of that. It's the only religion on earth that rewards by intention. It's the only religion on earth that doesn't depend on the results. You get paid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and rewarded regardless. Look what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was so worried about guiding his uncle and others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came and told him clearly, In alayka illa al-bala. All you have to do is proclaim. Laysa alayka hudahum. It's not up to you to guide or not guide. وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ يَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rewards. told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Qul ma as'alukum alayhi min ajr." I'm not asking you for anything. That's the prophets. That's what they tell the people. The same way here. You get your hasanat. You get everything, whether one person watch you or 100 people watch you. Why am I saying this? Because I don't want you to despair. I don't want you, because usually when you make da'wah or you seek knowledge, you get to a point where, like you're sitting in the lecture here, everybody else left. Shaitan would come and tell you, it's okay to leave. Why do you have to sit? Sometimes. Or sometimes you would say, maybe few would sit and the rest would leave. You say, am I the only intelligent person here? Everybody doesn't know what knowledge is and I am? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He talks about knowledge, and the scholars, they say the hardest thing on the person is to seek knowledge. It requires so much patience. And from A to Z, the same thing with the da'wah. You make da'wah and nothing happens. Nobody really listening to you. Nobody, it's like you advise your mom, your dad, your brother, your friend, and no results. It seems like you're weird in the family. Everybody looks at you and tells you, oh, you're this and you're that, and relax and calm down. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like that, and He's merciful and Jannah. It's like, wow, am I really taking it too hard on myself? Or I'm the only... Knowledge gives you that light. It tells you if you're doing right or wrong. Ikhlas has to be checked all the time. And how do you solve that? You continue to fight against yourself to be mukhlis. And how do you do that? You take part in every good thing, regardless this big. Because Ali radiallahu anhu said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala أخفى رضاه في طاعته فلا تعلم أي طاعة تنال بها رضا الله سبحانه وتعالى. أخفى رضاه في طاعة عبده. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His pleasure from His servant is hidden in His actions. So you have no idea which action is going to gain you the rida of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. طيب, if I don't know this video is going to make it, what's the solution to me? I'm going to continue on making it. If you know this donation may not make it, I'm going to donate every time someone asks for donation. I want to keep coming to Jama'ah prayer. I want to keep doing this dua. I want to keep being this righteous. That's the only way. And don't belittle that. Don't belittle that. Wallahi, brothers, I spoke about that so much. I saw one of the students, I was sitting in the car. I saw one of the students, her mom dropped her off and she took her bags and she's coming to class. The mom went to the back of the car, and it looks like the daughter remembers something. So she came so fast to the back and just in time grabbed the bag, heavy bag, with her mom to put it down. Wallahi, brother, if I would have seen this scene before, I would video it. I was going to myself, it seems like little thing. Oh, she helped her mom put the bag down, big deal. I do that all the time. Maybe someone would say that. But it's how fast she came and where she was going. What came to her mind when she did that? How happy her mom was. I can see that. I said in the class and to the girl and to other classes, I said, you know what? Wallahi, with my humble knowledge, if you fasted today or if you did qiyam, this act is more beloved to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than all that. How little it is, this. But to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, dealing with parents rewards so much for this. Because this can put you in hell if you upset them. وَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفْ. It's not even an action. Oof. That's it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you do that, this is a major sin. Major sin. It's not just a sin, major sin. So it's not really by how little the act is, it's how sincere you are. Don't ever belittle an act. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam summarizes for us, لا تحقرن من المعروف شيئا ولو أن تلقى أخاك بوجه طلق. Don't ever belittle any good deed, even if it's as little as smiling in the face of your brother. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى وإياكم أن يجعلنا من العالمين العاملين المخلصين. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.